There are more of us coming, but my great-grandfather came to this country a long time ago, maybe before you. And trust me, I did not let that one go. We took care of it. What is sad is that last year, before Chinese New Year, my daughter asked me to go to the South Bronx to teach some kids how to do line dance, right? Growing up in Chinatown, you always ask, are you Bruce Lee? Do you know Kung Fu? So I learned Kung Fu just to say yes to that question. And so I go to the supermarket, pick up some oranges and lettuce. And the kids, probably the age of MC Jin's kids, said to me, you are a Chinese virus. Where did our children learn to hate? So all the parents need to really think about this. Our school education system need to think about this. When the grandma in Benton was set on fire, the family went to the 6-2 precinct and they were told to go home and call 911. They spent more time proving that it was a true event than investigating what happened to this grandma. Then they said to me, they're 13 years old, leave them alone. And I'm like, I am too, and for restorative justice, where it makes sense. But we need to talk about, if these 13-year-olds can set a 90-year-old woman on fire, what are they gonna do when they get back to school? Yeah. We cannot allow that to go unanswered. A couple of days ago, I was here saying that why did the DA, I've seen him put people in jail for bullshit stuff, but meanwhile, the person who says, I saw him, I didn't like the way he looked, and I stabbed him. That is not a hate crime. So let me tell you the bullshit case, one of them. The bullshit case I'm talking about is this 65-year-old woman who did nothing other than to shop on Canal Street. An undercover walked by and says, how much? She spoke English because she's retired seamstress. She said to them, "Come on, 你幾錢啊?" So the lady said to her, 2蚊. She just answered them, $2. They cuffed her, drive her around to pick up more street vendors, and she was in detention. And and you know what else? You would think that would be, the DA would know that is a bullshit, right? They have the discretion to drop the charges because they fingerprinted her and all that good stuff. When I said to the DA and the public defender, I'm able to get you the street vendor who was there to testify on her behalf. This is some bullshit case. They decided to say, keep going. We are prosecuting this case. Even the public defender says, Mr. Lee, you want to do something about it? Hire your own lawyer. And I did.
Yeah.
But we should not have to do that. We should not have to do that. All the elected officials who spoke before you, they don't have to talk the turn that I'm talking about because they can do something about it. I thank my wife for allowing me to say, Don, where's the 5,000 credit card charge about? I'm like, well, getting someone out of jail. Right? But politicians, they have the power to do it. Chinatown is symptomatic of what's wrong with this country, but it's also what is the best about this country. All of you here are showing us what is best about this country. Thank you, and I'm standing solidarity with all of you. But let's talk about the bullshit. Right here on the canal, on the corner of Baxter, I'm on company report number 3. We walk across the street. I'll just take 1 more minute. Then we come report number 1. You go to canal, come report number 2. So we are divided. 10 years ago, I went and said, when we're redistricting, to put Chinatown together with both Latino brothers and sisters on the Lower East Side because I grew up here. I identify more commonality with them than the people in Wall Street or Battery Park City.
Yeah.
But they shouted me down.
Wow.
The same people who are doing the redistricting now are the same organization, so I ask all of you, stand up and fight back.
Yeah.
The systemic thing that you change starts at the local level. If we are split right here, right now, doesn't matter what the party is going to say because we'll never have enough numbers. So make sure the redistricting happens. One last ask. In Columbus Park, there's one table tennis table back there. Everything's been closed. Everything's been closed. So seniors have to come up here to play ping pong on one table. I said to them, I will be able to raise money to get it on the table. I need the City of New York, the Parks Department to do something to give our seniors, give our residents the recreation space that they need so they too deserve fresh air. So write down,
Yeah.
ask for them. Thank you all.